Welcome into the 63rd episode of Full Throttle, the Presidio Group's automotive industry podcast. Great to be back with you again. I'm your host, Jason Stein, Managing Director at Presidio.
Everybody's going to have some type of AI functionality. Maybe it's a chat, maybe it's a lead nurturing system of the such. To the best of my knowledge, no one has something that's embedded into the system. And I'll give you an example, Jason. Even within our core platform, our operating system, the AI that's built into there, you can literally ask it how to work our system, and it'll tell you. We're already testing in a couple months iteration. Not will it show you how to do it, it'll actually do it for you. So how do I sit here and post a deal? It'll literally say how to do it. How do I unwind a deal? It'll show you how to do it, or it'll do it for you. You just tell it the deal number, the stock number, and it'll reverse it out. So the learning curve is, can you speak? Can you type? We're language agnostic as well. So it can do multiple languages. Nobody else, to the best of my knowledge, has it embedded like that.
Today's conversation is about a shift in automotive retail technology that may prove far more consequential than most dealers and OEMs currently realize. For years, the industry has experimented with AI in the front end: chatbots, lead scoring, marketing optimization, and digital merchandising. Useful tools, certainly, but tools nonetheless. What if AI could actually do the work inside a dealership? Log into systems, move between portals, complete workflows, extract data, execute multi-step processes, and do it all autonomously. That's the promise behind a new release from Pinewood.AI, an autonomous AI agent called Project Intelligence, or Pi, designed to function as a true digital worker across dealership systems. Rather than relying on integrations or APIs, Pi operates directly at the browser level, meaning if a dealership employee can complete a task inside a web interface, Pi can complete it too. It's an entirely new category of AI for automotive retail, one that aims to reduce operational friction and allow dealership staff to focus on customer-facing, revenue-driving work. Today, to explain it all, is my guest, Bill Berman, CEO of Pinewood.AI, here on this episode of Full Throttle.
Hi, I'm Bill Berman. This is Presidio's podcast, Full Throttle.
We're here in Las Vegas and direct from England and direct from a very long relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you and I,
how far do we go back?
15 years at least, maybe 20 years. You helped me find a car once through our mutual friend.
I can't believe you got rid of it.
Yeah, well, we won't talk too much about that because I have a 21-year-old who's not happy about that. But through guest number one on this program, Mr. Maroney,
mentor,
you helped, icon, mentor to both of us, and now I'm fortunate to sit here with you, and 7 years at Pinewood, and some big news here in Las Vegas. But catch us up a little bit on how your life has been in this latest iteration, and Pinewood, and everything that you've done from actually leaving the U.S. and going to Pendragon, and then.
Yeah, it's one of those things here. It's I didn't go to the UK to try to sell cars. I had a unique opportunity. I got asked to be on a board of directors. Pendragon at the time, Pinewood was a part of it. Had a big dealer footprint in California, which I knew well, originally from there. And one of their large investors I'd done some work for, and they asked me if I'd go represent them on a board of directors. And I thought, this is great. Yeah. I love Europe. I get a free trip into London every quarter. This is amazing. And I went in there. There's some kind of management turmoil and some turnover. And about 6 months in, the chairman came in and said, "Listen, we're struggling. Would you come over on an interim basis and kind of help right size the business?" I said, "Sure." I was kind of in between kind of some contracts and stuff. And I got in there some challenges and had to go through it. And it was kind of a small kind of conglomerate. There was a parts business, a standalone used car business, a B2B leasing company, and then there was this company called Pinewood. Right. I'd heard of it. I thought this was another dealer thing that, it's a spreadsheet with some nice algorithm. It looks good. And also I found this cloud-based enterprise level, core system, DMS system, and this amazing group of people. And, they asked me if I'd stay on full time, and I said, I'll do it if I can sit here and take Pinewood and go do something different with that. They were supportive. And I signed my contract February 23rd of 2020. Oh. And I don't have to say the rest. And, 30
just
days
in the nick of time.
Yeah, just in the nick of time. And the lockdowns in the UK are a little bit different than, say, maybe Florida, where I have a home. So Florida I think that They're denying.
It didn't exist.
It didn't exist there.
Exist.
The UK took it a little bit more seriously, and unfortunately, that kind of slowed down the time frame, and we had to do some different things. But the ultimate journey was how to sit here and get this amazing product, this amazing people, and bring it here to America. And it's been 6 years, 5 years to sit here and get it separated out from the retail group. Lithia sat here and bought the retail group. They're big partners and investors in Pinewood. And 2 years ago, we separated out as our own publicly traded company on the London Stock Exchange. And now we're here in beautiful Las Vegas at NADA. This is our official launch into North America. So it's been exciting.
Wow. What an interesting twist for you to go from, I remember you as Western Region manager for AutoNation, VP in the Western Region. And I mean, you're obviously very US focused, a lot of dealings with retailers on a regular basis, at a time when the world was drastically different. What's that transition been like for you to now go into this side of the space where you're hoping dealers can buy the booth this week?
No, I mean, you can look at it two ways. So even with, my time with AutoNation, I kind of was always kind of leading on the tech side of it and stuff like that. Growing up in California, actually, school-wise, university-wise, I actually had a background in technology. Used to do some minor programming on Reynolds, some old things in the past and stuff. But, AutoNation was kind of and always has been kind of a forward-leaning company. And I got to drive a lot of that tech innovation. So as you come into this and now you're switching over, I think I'm uniquely positioned because I'm not knocking anybody else out there, but I've run dealerships, I've sold cars.
You've got all the experience.
I've run a platform, and I was really fortunate to, as Mr. Maroney retired, AutoNation to come in and try to fill his huge shoes and run, at the time, the largest, platform in the world. And so I've got a different vantage point, and I can engage, with a dealer maybe differently than others can, because I know the value proposition that a platform like Pinewood brings, and it's just a different vantage point. So when we're coming out here, this isn't theory, this isn't this is actually something that could change the way people buy, sell, and service their vehicles.
Where does Pinewood fit into the broader evolution of dealership tech? What are you showing here this week that folks would say, "Now, that's exactly what I need"?
So I can tell you this, it's not more of the same. So, you've looked at, you take the last 20, 25 years in automotive, you've had kind of a duopoly within the kind of core system DMS space. We don't really consider ourselves a DMS. We're much, much broader than that. You've had these accounting platforms and a whole bunch of layered apps that had to facilitate certain functionality that couldn't be developed or couldn't be operated within these systems. Pinewood comes in with a complete revamp of all of that. Yeah, we have the enterprise level accounting. We're in 36 countries, over 4,000 rooftops, 50,000 daily users, over 100,000 interactions on a daily basis in some form or another. But we give a single entry point to be able to facilitate every aspect of the job. And then with our combination with C's, so Pinewood.AI powered by C's, now we've been able to embed artificial intelligence into the platform. And we got a kind of a twist on our name, the Pinewood.AI. The AI actually stands for Automotive Intelligence. And that's really what the underpinnings are to it. This is, how do you sit here and take modern tech, like we do utilizing everything else, and bring the car buying, the car selling, the car servicing into that world? I mean, could you imagine if you didn't have Amazon anymore, or Uber Eats or whatever else? Our business is the same as it's been for the last 30 years. And the technology that's come in has made the systems more cumbersome, very fragmented. And actually the car process and selling process is it's antiquated. I mean, 20 years ago, salespeople sold 10 cars.
Right.
Today, they sell 10 cars. Tech productivity hasn't really moved, even with advancements in technology. And we have a platform that takes those barriers away, puts technology either in the customer's hands or in the dealer's hands, gives them the ability to elevate their business.
Where those rooftops are right now, you said 4,000 rooftops globally? Where's the concentration, Bill? Where?
Our biggest footprint company is originally based in the UK. So we have about 40% share within the UK market. The UK market is very similar to Canada, the US, but we have a large footprint in South Africa, Japan, the Nordics, Central Europe, and such as you would imagine. We do have
truly around the world.
Yeah, we have a lot of business operating right now. We power the Porsche Experience Center in Canada, which is exciting. And we go live with Lithia in Q1, Q2 of this year. So really exciting.
It's a crowded field to some extent because you've had a couple the ultra dominant players. I mean, you dealt with those players at the other side of the table, prior to. So you have to separate yourself. And by the way, at this show, they're all talking about how they're AI focused and how they have cutting edge technology. And it's a race that
it is.
Everybody has to keep up with. So your desire to separate yourself from that class is based on what?
I'd say the best thing is this. First off, it's kind of funny because if you go around and look at, like you said, how many people have AI or talking about it, I think last count there was 45 different companies here this weekend saying some kind of AI. Probably everybody is, but 45 that are registered that way. The difference on our proposition is ours is embedded into a core platform operating system versus another layer app that sits on top. Everybody's going to have some type of AI functionality. Maybe it's a chat. Maybe it's a lead nurturing system of the such. To the best of my knowledge, no one has something that's embedded into the system. And I'll give you an example, Jason. Even within our core platform, our operating system, the AI that's built into there, you can literally ask it how to work our system, and it'll tell you. We're already testing in a couple months iteration. Not will it show you how to do it? It'll actually do it for you. So how do I sit here and close the deal? It'll literally show you how to do it. How do I unwind a deal? It'll show you how to do it, or it'll do it for you. You just tell it the deal number, the stock number, and it'll reverse it out. So the learning curve is, can you speak? Can you type? We're language agnostic as well. So it can do multiple languages. Nobody else, to the best of my knowledge, has it embedded like that. Mm-hmm. Then you get into the different functionalities, whether it's being able to see here and engage with the customer from the very beginning of an inquiry, whether it's on a website or wanting to set a service appointment. Service appointment, for an example. Our AI agent that's built into our system can sit here and take a query from a customer, sit here and be able to align it to a technician that's qualified to do the work. Could even take it to the ability to maybe one tech's more productive or better at that job than another, allocate the parts that are needed for it within there, okay, and then be able to schedule it and follow up with the customer in real time. Human never has to be involved. And the system that's engaging on that is the same system that you interface with when you walk into the store. So it's not two different systems that don't really communicate well and are disjointed and fragmented. It's one flow. And then that same process goes into the technician. The technician, via the system, via an AI agent, can communicate with the customer, can send videos, text, can communicate any way that they like. And the agent is actually sitting here helping the technician, in this example, be able to facilitate something, to even be able to predictive index. So you've got a 3-year-old, XYZ car. It's got 62,000 miles. We're already testing where there's a 62% probability that car is going to need a timing belt. You need to go look at it. And this is when you have a unified data stack. And you have unfragmented systems, a single entry point. You can facilitate this. All the data is there, and that's what the value proposition.
And historically, that those disparate systems couldn't communicate with each other.
No,
or you had overlap, or you had underperformance.
And then you have data. And so maybe you have a scheduler and some data sitting there. You're doing something else on the right if there's data there. The core systems, the DMSs, are only having transactional data at the end of the day. Others have sat here and said, "Well, we're going to build a data lake and try to put all this stuff in there," but it never just fits. And when you can have a single entry point, a single storage for all that, the possibilities are virtually endless.
And it's designed and built from car people for car people.
A great tagline, right? But the nice thing about that is it's one of those things that it sounds like a marketing scheme, but this was born from retail. It was part of the largest automotive retail group in Europe at the time, in the UK for sure. And they got to test and incubate and pilot things here. They got input from actual operators, where, a lot of the other ones, that's not necessarily how they come up with it. And once again, not knocking anybody out there, but I don't know a lot of people that have a disproportionate of the staff that have actually operated in automotive retail and understand what the dealers need and are being able to sit here and build products and systems that facilitate and meet those needs.
And, you said the level of advancement just continues to clip up faster and faster and faster. I can't imagine a year from now, Bill, what we're going to be talking about in terms of capability, not just with your system, but with AI in general. The learning curve, I think, probably for humans on AI is at a slope that we probably can't even imagine.
No, you're absolutely right. What you're going to start to see within the agentic model, so AI is moving very quickly, and people talk about LLMs and generative, and now it's agentic, and there'll be a different word in another week or two, and it's growing exponentially. What you're really going to start to see, and our system's a perfect example of this. You're not going to have to know any of that anymore. It's not going to be device dependent anymore. It's going to be conversational. You're going to just be able to engage with an agent, with an AI. You won't even know that you're doing it and being able to do that. So you're not going to have to understand how it works. One thing you're going to need able to do is be able to say what you need, what you want, and what you need to facilitate, and the system's going to be able to do that for you. Now, not everyone can do that, but we can.
In tech adoption, the auto industry has not exactly been known for as being leaders and or fast followers, and usually a slow walk. But I know your objective here is to get people on it fast.
Yep.
And get them to understand how to use the system in the most efficient way, sometimes within a week. Is that correct?
Easily. So, it's funny. I think car people inherently are looking for what can help them and do better than that. I think the real challenge has been limited how the current incumbents have limited some of that tech advancement. If you've got a technology that's 20 or 30 years old, it really limits. It's like back to your Porsche. If you have a 15-year-old Porsche and you want to make it do what a new Porsche does today, that's just not going to work.
Right.
So, like I said, we have an agent built into our system. The system will tell you how to operate itself. So when you look at it, it's all menu driven. So if you've operated on a computer and you know how to use a mouse, soon speak, you can operate our system in a matter of days and be proficient.
You sort of in the news this week about what you're rolling out. You're introducing almost a new category of AI, and it moves beyond chatbots, vehicle recommendations. You're calling it a digital worker.
Yep.
Is that, I've not heard that phrase previously.
We've rented it under Pinewood Intelligence as a piece here, but it's basically having an agent sit here and do certain tasks automatically for that. Things to like, if you want to engage with a customer, you can just tell the system, Jason Stein's here to buy a car, and it'll pull up real quick, and we have 4 Jason Steins with Jason Stein. Oh, this is a different one. Great. And then, Jason, would you like to give me your phone number, your email? You don't have to, but if you'd like to, put in the system, and then it just here puts in the system for you. So you don't have someone trying to type it in or do that. And then let's say you're doing that online, then that agent can see you're online and just engage with it and start answering your questions. And you got to think when people inquiring a dealership, and let's say on a sales process, the number of questions they're asking are fairly limited. Where are you located? When are you opening? Is that car available? What's the equipment on it? What's my trade worth? A human's having to see or type this in and research and try to get the information off the computer. But an agent can do that in real time, faster, 24/7, never retires, never has a day off, and can engage with a customer and answer the questions much more effectively, much quicker. And it's just going to change the way that buying process is. So that digital worker is getting things that aren't skill-based. I don't see AI ever replacing a technician. Okay. Salespeople bring great value into the thing here. But, once again, non-revenue generating, non-customer facing positions, data entry points and all that stuff, it doesn't need to exist anymore.
Yeah. Final thing, just talk a little bit, if you would, about the relationship with Lithia and about how, Brian really pushes the team and really what it means for you.
Listen, having a partner like Lithia, how could you ask for anything better? I mean, the largest automotive retailer in the world, is a relationship built into when Pendragon at the time sold them all of their assets in the UK. And they were really wowed by the Pinewood system. And we had to do a unique structure when they bought those assets, but they wanted to have a role in Pinewood as a before. So they're a large shareholder within us. We're publicly traded on the London Stock Exchange. And they have given us just virtually unlimited access to their systems and their people. And they are facilitating our launch in North America. Can you imagine bringing a new technology into North America and your beachhead is Lithia? I mean,
it's not a bad place to start.
If you had to do this from scratch like others have, I mean, this is banging on doors one by one. I mean, this is the Herculean task. They love the system so much. They have 150 stores on the system in the UK. They have 25 stores here in North America. They signed an exclusivity contract with us. We start launching later this year, and we've got a pathway to roll out. So, they've been great partners. They've been great shareholders, and look forward out there. And I can say the one thing that Brian said from the beginning, this isn't a Lithia solution. This is a quote from him. This is an industry solution. And he looks at it as kind of like Mr. Rooney, kind of looking forward thinkers. He looks at it as this is something that's going to change the industry. He sees where these limitations are, these frustrations within dealers, and he sees where the value proposition is.
Visionary.
Yep.
Visionary. Great to be with you again.
Right.
And this time I'm not asking you for a car.
Well, if you do, I have an agent that'll sell.
I bet. A digital work.
Exactly. Perfect.
Bill Berman, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
That's the 63rd episode of Full Throttle, and a special thanks to my guest, Bill Berman. Thank you for listening. And for a library of these episodes with industry leaders, go to thepresidiogroup.com. You can also find a library of these shows on the Presidio Group's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jason Stein. We'll talk to you again next time.